Next up is Patrick McCorkle. Patrick McCorkle is very involved in the writing community here in Oshkosh.
As I like to say, I was born and raised in the 54901 and really haven't, maybe went a mile from where I was born. So I'm somewhat not well traveled. But I have a few poems tonight. The first one is inspired by the recent events in a certain voting body in our nation's capital. I don't really have a title for it, but here it is. Jim wanted to be House Speaker, but the GOP didn't want him as their keeper. After 3 climactic voting bouts, the old wrestler got wrestled out. The co-founder of the Freedom Caucus received a taste of his own ruckus. There's no room for claims of fraud, which some did and do applaud. What goes around comes around, especially those who ambition drown. Maybe now old Jim will have more affection for procedures called elections. Here's another poem inspired by recent events, a certain sports team owner asking for funding. The title is Take Me Out to My New Stadium. Mark was baseball mad, had the fever, and had it bad. He brought the Brewers in '04, giving Bud Selig a nice score. In '23, Ruff was American Family Field, so to the politicians Mark appealed. His friend Robin asked, "Would you like some money?" Mark replied, "Yes, and I'll tell you what to do, honey." Mark wanted to cover all 162 games without knowing all the taxpayer names. Told the public they'd be wrong if they didn't pass their money along. To make them come through, Mark knew what he had to do. To cheer up the owners he knew, he sang this song until his face was blue. Take me out, Milwaukee, take me out, Madison. Buy me some upgrades and repairs. I don't care how the state budget fares, it's fun. Fun, fun, my stadium. If you don't, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 subsidies, and you're out of the old stadium game. And the final poem is more of a creed. It comes from my the fantasy world that I'm writing. It's sort of a distillation kind of some of my beliefs, but I've altered some of the language, more for general use. So it would be entitled The Stewardship Creed. I do not forget. Storm, fire, and lightning grant me life. Air and wind fill my lungs. Water and fluid comprise my blood. Earth, rock, and stone support my frame. Flora and fauna nourish me. Sapience enhances me. I do not forget. To be wise is to regard oneself as all and all as oneself. To be just is to be impartial under every condition. To be sane is to be content through good or ill. To be healthy is to abandon torrid passions. Survival is peace. Strife is death. I shall remember to do unto all as I would have all do unto me. That is the way. Nothing more, nothing less.